to Miss Sherelle and everyone else in who's viewing at this time. Um, it's no coincidence that I came behind Miss Lisa speaking about dementia. Just to tell you a little story, I wrote out a whole list, and on the way home from work this morning, God was like, "No, we're not going by that list. We're gonna play it by ear." So that's what I'm doing right now. My story starts off with being a caregiver for my grandmother, and the topic that I was suggested to speak about was when a caregiver needs a caregiver. My grandmother was the caregiver for people in our neighborhood. She made prepared meals, did people laundry, took care of people's kids, different things like that. And I always saw her being a caregiver for everybody else until the time came and she began to become ill. And she still was in that mode of, I don't want nobody to, take care of me. I still want to be there for everyone. And eventually the day came that she passed away. And on the day that she passed away, we were preparing her for the funeral home people to come and pick her up. And in that moment, my mom said, "No, let's take out the time and prepare her, still bathe her and get her prepared for when the undertakers come and pick her up." And in that moment of the level of care that I took preparing her for the funeral home people, it allowed me to know, like, God, is this my calling? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing, being a caregiver for others? And from that point on, I went to nursing school. From nursing school, I did other things. However, in me doing other things, it always brought me back to being a caregiver. So listen to Lisa speak just now. What happened? I was doing a travel assignment last night, and I ended up at a memory care location, assisted living home. And it was a gentleman that was there, 98 years old, and he began to, say he was trying to get to his wife. He was like literally trying to get to his wife, and in him back and forth, pretty much all night long. Um, he had an accident, and one of the young ladies that was working with me came in this morning, and she began to say, I'm not used to doing this. This is how people say, this is not my job. And one thing we have to know as a caregiver, a lot of things we may do that may not be our job, but if it's in our calling, we're going to do what we have to do. So I was able to just get into mode, and I began to start preparing for his shower and getting everything set up. And I didn't even think twice about, well, no, it's not my job. I'm not going to take care of him. I'm just going to get off the clock. No, listen, I could not be the person that would literally want to sit up here and leave someone in a vulnerable state like that. So I took the time, and I was calm with him, picked out his clothes, asked him pretty much what he wanted to wear, and that allowed him to calm down during the process. So again, just like how Lisa was explaining about people with dementia and the signs that you have to look out for, like, it was so on point and so needed to hear this morning. But just as I was saying, as being a caregiver, no, every day is not easy. But one thing we have to do is still continue to strive and keep going, even when we don't feel like going. I mean, I'm not only a caregiver to the people in the nursing, but also in my home. I'm still a caregiver. I still have to show up. So right now, I'm literally off of 18 hours, no rest. So once this summit is over, literally, I know I need caring for, but I'm going to take out the time to rest and do what I got to do and get myself rejuvenated and everything like that. But the biggest thing that I want to take out the time to leave with you, something that I take to heart, is always take a moment to pause, reflect, and focus. And number two, take out the time to check on that loved one. If something in your mind doesn't sit right with you, check on that loved one, check on that friend, check on that coworker, check on that neighbor, because you never know what could be going on with that person. Never think twice about it, and know that we are all making a difference. One thing I go by is Second Kings 4, 1 through 10. And it talks about the woman whose husband passed away. And she didn't have anything in her house, but he told her what she needed was to get some vessels, to start pouring some oil. And one thing I want to tell you is that we are all pitchers, and we must continue to pour. Everything that we need is in our homes, that we can survive and do what we have to do. So if you don't remember anything, repeat after me. Be here now. Be present in every moment. Embrace the journey that he has you on. And also, you are destined to be an agent of change. You are powerful. You are strong. And you are resilient. I am Howishia. I have the heart of a caregiver. And thank you for this platform.
Wow, Howishia, that was wonderful. And it's you're correct. We have to remember to take out time for ourselves, to provide care for ourselves, because if we are an empty vessel,
yes,
we cannot fill.
We can't.
Another vessel. I don't care if it's a teaspoonful, a cupful. If we are empty as a vessel, we cannot fill others and help to sustain others. So I enjoyed your presentation. I love your story. I pray that you continue to do what you're doing. You walk boldly into your purpose.
Yes.
And remember your assignment. Embrace your assignment. If we could just remember to do that, embrace our assignment, in spite of what anybody else has to say about it or think about it. It doesn't matter what they think. They're going to think what they want to think anyway. But when God has placed it upon your heart and in your mind and your spirit, what you are supposed to be doing for the edification of his kingdom, forget the naysayers, forget my favorite topic, validation, forget it. It doesn't matter. You accept and embrace your assignment.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I have to say. Yes, I have that to say for everyone who graced this stage today, and for anyone out there listening. Embrace your assignment. Stay focused. So I thank you so much, Howishia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.